morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to an extra interview of Final Cut. And today I'm joined by an actress, dancer, writer, singer. So basically, she's already set for a lifetime in movies. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Sydney Cope.
Hello, hello.
How are you? Well, this evening for me, but this afternoon for you.
I am fabulous. Staying safe, doing my best to make it day by day.
Good, nice to hear. So the inevitable question is, how did you get started out in acting?
Well, so I actually started with dance initially whenever I was about 2 years old. My mom put me in dance and I kind of explored the dance world for a bit. And then I actually got into music before I developed a love for acting when I was about 7. And then from there, I was actually at a dance convention and it was the first weekend for the dance convention to open up an acting workshop with Lane Napper. And so I did it and I was about 10 or 11, I believe. And he pulled me aside after the workshop and was like, you need to get into this. You already got the music, you already got the dance side, and then you can start this journey also. So I was like, okay, this is something new for me. And I got on the train of the acting train and I fell in love with it and I've been pursuing it ever since.
Now, who are your influences growing up? I mean, obviously, I'm approaching my 40s, so I've had my fair share of influences. I mean, Chris Nolan's an influence for me as a movie fan, as is Hans Zimmer, H.R. Giger, bless his cotton socks. He was an inspiration as far as production design goes. That's just my three, for instance. I could name about 300 or 500. So it's just a case of who I wanted to name, so I thought I named them three just to give you an example. So, who are your influences when it comes to acting?
When it comes to acting, definitely one of my biggest influences was or is Jennifer Lopez because she kind of is a triple. Well, she is not kind of. She's a beast, and she's a triple threat, which is what I have been pursuing. And so, just her hard work and her dedication and her creativity in all three different worlds per se, uh, and her work ethic just really have stayed strong to me, and her creativity.
And don't forget her youthful looks.
Oh, of course.
Definitely don't
She is
forget those.
stunning. Oh, I know. I will look up, and that's the goal to look like that.
I look at her, she's 52, but she doesn't look a day over 26. I would
Uh,
just like to meet her one day and just say, how do you look so young?
Please give me your makeup
Give
routine.
everyone give everyone your secrets.
Yes, for real. Definitely her. I've had so many different ones. I don't have like I'm trying to think. There's just so many, like you said.
It is, yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely her. I love Jennifer Lawrence also. Um,
She definitely.
a beast, a
Yeah,
beast. And
she's something. I'd say she's something else. Not so much out of this world, but she is something else.
I think what made her stick out to me so much was because um, I watched her. I don't remember what interview it was for. I think it was whenever the Hunger Games was kind of coming
Yeah.
out. But just how real she was, like I don't know. That's something for me that lots of people can put on, like a front as to who they are, and then behind the scenes there's someone else. But just seeing that interview and like kind of digging more into watching behind the scene clips with her, she seemed really real, and I really appreciate that in the acting world because that can be hard to find sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of things. Sincerity for one. Trust is a very, very hard commodity to come by nowadays.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a thing with Texans like yourself, they seem to be quite nice. What is it about Texans that literally give us like some of the nicest people that's ever lived?
I told you, you just gotta go visit Texas and check it out for yourself. I don't know. Texas has always been a home for me. I was born and raised in Texas, and I actually born and raised in Dallas, and then I moved out to Los Angeles when I was about 16. I kind of went out there for my first time when I was 14, though,
Mm.
and just seeing the difference in people. Also, that is another reason Texas will always have a part of my heart and always be a home to me. I
Right,
don't know.
that's it.
Maybe it's in the water or the food or something.
Texas isn't that far from Mexico, so it must be the Tex-Mex food everyone has.
Yeah, I think so. The queso can get to people.
Now, as a horror fan, there is one movie on your resume which intrigues me. It's called 47 Hours. Now, for everyone who doesn't know what it is, it's based around two socially awkward teen girls are bored one night. So, doing whatever bored girls do, they decide to just look at something and think, right, what can we do? What can we do? I know, I'll turn to the internet for a scary story, and I'll find a game on a creepy website that claims you can use your phone to summon the supernatural, and if you lose the game you're playing, you lose. So it's definitely an alternative way of using the Ouija board.
Yes, indeed, it is. It's
And
very
by the way,
interesting.
by the way, if anybody wants to use a Ouija board, please don't.
Do not
Just please do
recommend.
not.
Just watch YouTube videos instead. Don't put yourself through that.
Yeah, just watch. In fact, if you really want a really bad movie that's not even a horror, watch Project X. It's the worst movie I've ever watched.
Oh, I don't think I haven't seen that one, so now I know not to watch it.
I have never walked out of a movie in my life. I walked out after about 40 minutes.
Oh.
That's how bad it was. And
Okay.
yeah,
Well, now I know.
the guy who actually, because he actually warned us against watching before we went in, but we thought, nah, we'll go with an open mind. And when we went back out, I went to him. I went, yeah, you're all right. And he went, I know.
Keyword open mind.
So open, yeah. So avoid that. And if a sequel is made, which I doubt it will be, but if it is, avoid Project X2 because it's going to be even worse.
Okay, noted. I will keep that in mind.
So speaking of horrors, what do you think of the horror genre at the moment?
That's one of my favorite genres. It's interesting if it's done correctly.
Yeah.
I feel like right now there's with everything kind of everyone being at home and everything being streaming and like movies and series being the number one topic, I feel like, or the number one thing to be doing right now. I feel like there's kind of been a lot more thrillers than there have like gory horror films. Which I like thrillers and more suspenseful stuff other than the gory like blood type of films. But I feel like they're improving more and more each day, just with the creativity, not only in the storyline or the acting wise, but also somatic wise and the way it's been filmed. I think directors and producers are getting really creative. So it's very interesting to see the growth over the years.
There is one problem though: the continued versions of reboots and remakes. I did actually ask you this before we came on. I have actually said this previously. I will admit that Freddy Alvarez's Evil Dead was way better than Sam Raimi's Evil Dead in the 80s, which my co-host and me still need to have a bit of a debate about. But I was actually on the mindset that no movie, no reboot, no remake can ever be better than the original until I watched that and my mind was changed.
Yep, it will surprise you. How do you feel about like the It series?
I had doubts about that as well. Because Tim Curry is just so iconic.
Right.
But I think what makes Bill Skarsgård's different from his is that Tim Curry is kind of friendly before he gets mean.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the newer version is just like, he's not mean. He's just like, you can see from how he looks, what his facial expressions are. He's obviously not as nice as he makes himself out to be.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, everyone had to be a sucker for him. Otherwise, it wouldn't really work, would it?
Right, exactly.
Honestly, I could talk horror movies with you all night. I really could.
I could tell. That's awesome.
Yeah. So just moving on from the horror genre, you've actually had a busy year last year, actually. I believe you released 5 projects in total. One of them was called Fallout 2, which to me seems to be like Step Up combined with Gymnastics. Now, I have seen the trailer. You have my complete and utter attention. Make me intrigued to the point where I go hunting through Netflix, Amazon Prime, and everything like that for the movie.
Well, like you said, it's kind of a spin-off of a little bit of Step Up and Gymnastics Incorporated. but it's actually based on a true story at the Oklahoma University gymnastics team. And what's cool about this project is we actually got to work one-on-one with the real gymnast, and majority of the characters, they had the real gymnast as the stunt double doing the real stunts. So it really is a good, it really does portray gymnastics to the best of its ability, because it does incorporate the real people that the story is talking about. So it's a really cool project, and it's got so many talented people involved in it.
I'm assuming the training you went through for it wasn't exactly a walk in the park.
Well, luckily since I started with dance, it was kind of, it was still a challenge, because I learned when I was learning the floor routine part from the gymnast I was working with, that they don't go by counts, which growing up as a dancer, I'm used to that 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So it was interesting that they just kind of had these movements, and it was very fluid, and just really observing the gymnasts and their movements and trying to mimic that to my best ability, because I personally don't have much gymnastics training. Like I said, I'm on the dance side of the world. But it was really cool. It was a challenge, but I was up for it. I went in with an open mind, and I'm happy with how it all came together.
Nice. Makes me more intrigued just to watch it with how you've been saying you use real gymnastics, because for me, that's kind of is the definition of a really good movie, is not only where it says, right, it's a movie about gymnastics, right, we've been trained, fair enough. Is there actually any like proper I can't pronounce the word, just help me out here.
Gymnast?
Thank you. I couldn't
Yes.
yeah, any proper gymnasts in it that to actually make it look as real as it is, and there is. So bonus points on that part. So, do you have any idea where it is?
Yes, so it's actually, it just got released onto Netflix January 1st. So you can find it on Netflix, Full Out 2, You Got This. It's also on iTunes. You can rent it on Amazon. I think it's on Vimeo. And those fun services you can rent. But yeah, it was just released on Netflix, so definitely check it out.
All right, I'm watching that with dinner tomorrow night.
Perfect.
If I can find it over here, because the thing is with streaming giants, sometimes though, I mean, there's HBO Max in America. You can get that. Friends is on that. We've still got it on Netflix over here.
Must be nice.
It's a bit weird, because I actually want HBO Max more than anything.
You watch HBO Max more
I
than
want HBO Max more than anything, but we can't get it because one of our satellite channels, which is Sky, they actually have a deal with HBO to show content, because we've had Chernobyl put on that. Game of Thrones was shown on Sky, so until that contract runs out, we can't get HBO Max.
Oh no!
I know, I am so gutted. And what's even worse is Zack Snyder's Justice League movies coming out this year, so I don't even know if I'm going to get a chance to watch that. And I'm gutted.
No.
I know.
Well,
I'm missing out on everything.
It's all going to work itself out. Fingers crossed. Knock on some wood for you.
Oh, bless you. I don't need that look. Now, there are a few other movies that I've actually, I do want to talk to you about, because there's Into the Arms of Danger, which is a good idea. It's a woman gets taken away by paramedics, only she doesn't show up at the ER where she's going. She actually gets shown up at another place. I'm not saying exactly where she's going, just in case anybody doesn't want to. There's Harklaw's Law, which looks to have the dangers of having a very overprotective mother, which I know all too well about. So you're definitely a lady who enjoys your horrors.
Yes, I do. It's actually, I mean, going from like playing pretend whenever I was a little girl with my friends, and I grew up with 2 older brothers also, and so there was kind of that implemented throughout my childhood, you know, like joking around, like, oh my gosh, like we've got to run from this dude or run from the zombies that are going to be attacking us, you know, and just kind of having that and falling in love with the genre at a younger age too. So it's fun, you know, it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but it's kind of interesting seeing how it all comes together.
By the way, big hint, never let an 8-year-old watch Alien. I was traumatized by it. It took me 20 years to muster up the courage to watch it.
No! Oh gosh, I cannot imagine. 8 years old.
But here's the thing though, I watched it with my sister. She was all right, but she watched Exorcist when it got re-released 23 years ago. She had nightmares about it. I watched it and I'm like, what's the big deal? So we do love a horror, but we kind of are a bit different with certain things. I mean, she doesn't she loves it, but she can't stand clowns, whereas I don't mind clowns.
Oh, okay,
We deal with
interesting.
a lot of clowns in real life. That's how I view.
Very true. That's an interesting perspective. So,
So, with that question being said, it is a bit. Is it too early to class you as a bit of a scream queen?
um, I can um I would say maybe a little bit too early, just because that's not just my only category I would categorize myself in. I can fall into that. I can hop on that little screen queen train, but I don't know, maybe I can fall into that. I don't know, that's a good question. I've never got asked that question before.
There you go. There you go. You've just been waiting for the right guy to ask that question. Although you would be in good company because Jamie Lee Curtis was a scream queen in the 70s. Katie Cassidy was a bit of a scream queen in the early noughties. So you're in good company there.
Yep, very true.
Now, moving away from horror, so we don't scar anybody with any more horror stories. You've actually been in All That Many Times, which is a revival of Nickelodeon's long-running sketch comedy series. How does it feel to be a part of a Nickelodeon show?
You know, it was really it's such a great experience. It was really cool because growing up, like I watched Nickelodeon as a little kid, and I would see my idols on there, and kind of like, wow, it's a cool little world. But I wasn't really sure how to dive into it or get the right connections in order to move forward in that process. So Chris Judd is the choreographer, and he actually reached out to me.
Ah, I know the man.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know him, but I know of him.
yes, he is amazing, super super talented man. But he reached out to me for a dance opportunity for the show, and it was really cool because, especially for all that itself, the way I describe it to people that might not know what it is the like Saturday Nickelodeon Saturday Night Live is how I described it.
It's a kid's
Uh,
version of Saturday Night Live, only with niceness in it.
Yes, exactly. Hence Nickelodeon. um, but no, it was really cool. Like everyone was super, super fun to work with. The cast was so nice, very, very friendly kids, and it was just fun. Like I wouldn't expect myself to be dressed up, dancing for Cardi Beef was one of the skits that I had to do.
That's not bad, actually.
She was dressed up as like a T-bone steak, and I was like her backup dancer. So I mean, it's fun. You never know what's gonna come your way, but I'm up for anything.
All right, if you were to do it again, who would be your, I'll say, the dream one that you would actually like to, I'll say, be a dancer for?
As far as the cast that they already have,
Never,
or
if they could get anyone. I mean, you might not know this, but you know, Lip Sync Battle.
yes,
They've been trying to get Beyonce for during the first season. Yeah, they actually had tried it, but she wouldn't budge. As soon as they got Channing Tatum on board, she relented and she actually joined him on stage, and everyone just lost their minds.
oh my gosh, oh wait, I have seen that one. Okay, yes, I know what
Yeah,
you're
so
talking
have we. Me and my lady have had many laughs and many times where we couldn't catch a breath because we were laughing that much.
about. That's such a fun show. Um, I think it'd be very interesting to see either probably Jim Carrey on that show. I feel like he would bring a lot to the table for that. And he's just I love Jim Carrey. He's the nut.
Have you ever seen him in The Mask?
Oh
Oh,
yes, iconic.
definitely. His gifts in it are absolutely inch perfect for me sometimes.
Hmm.
Like when you just look at something and your jaw just drops, it's like jaw drops to the floor, eyes pop open. Yeah, that's me or near enough all the time.
100%.
Now, the biggie. You've actually been in a certain Netflix movie which was released, I believe it was released last year.
In December.
And I have watched this, so I know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
It is
okay.
actually, it's actually called The Prom. It stars the woman who can literally do anything, and as far as my quiz is concerned, the one that everybody wants to work with, Meryl Streep,
Yes.
Nicole Kidman, and James Corden, who, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big fan of his, but I think as time has gone on, I have actually kind of warmed to him a little bit. But I
You've
still
got
want Meryl Streep anyway. I still
oh.
want Meryl Streep. So, what was it like being in a movie with two legends and James Corden? I'm sorry.
No, you were fine. You don't have to apologize. I that was amazing. I still can't believe that is something that I have as an experience. It was so much fun. I got the phone call from my agent that I booked it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, cool. And then I got there and I was like, wow, this is happening, like rehearsals. And then they walked in on one rehearsal, all the main cast, and my jaw dropped to the floor because I was like, wow, this is actually happening. I actually get to work. I'm in the same room. I could reach out and touch Meryl Streep right now. So no, that experience was really cool. And it was also awesome seeing the actors kind of off camera as well, because like one example, Nicole Kidman's character, she's very kind of like, what is it? Her hands that she does. She's just very, very, yes. And when we were in rehearsal, because I'm in the finale, like the big prom dance number, and the main cast also does choreography with us, but they've only learned it. They haven't implemented it in our formation at the time. And so for this process, it was cool seeing, like, before the music started, I kind of watched Nicole Kidman, like, take a few minutes to herself and, like, look at herself in the mirror, and she was preparing to, like, really get into character before the music had even started, and just kind of seeing their own individual ways off camera is really, really neat.
Yeah. All right. Just everyone who has been watching my interviews knows that I ask the same question. I say, and everyone picks Meryl Streep. So, from your perspective, what is it about Meryl Streep that everyone finds so lovable?
She just has a presence that just makes you almost want to give her a hug. I don't know, that's how I was. When I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. I'm going to give you a hug. But she, like I was saying before, she just commits to every character. She owns it, and she dives in. And she's one that, I mean, becoming a whole new person that doesn't really exist can be difficult when you look at it from that perspective. But I feel like she just kind of dives in head first. And if it was somebody else's character, she finds a way to make it her own. So.
Oh, Ivan, here's a question for you. What are the differences between the dancing in the prom and full on 2?
As far as like movement wise, like dancing wise, is that what you said?
Anything to do with dance?
So for Full Out, we didn't, that was more so like gymnastics type of dance is what I would say, or their floor routine, that's their dance. And it's just it's a lot different. There's some aspects that are very similar, which luckily from my dance training, I was able to implement and kind of challenge myself and overcome whatever challenges I was facing when learning the choreography. And as far as comparing that to prom was a lot more kind of what is the word I'm thinking of? It just was very traditional when it comes to like learning a group number or like a dance, going to like a dance class. You learn the choreography, you clean it, you get your formations, and you just keep doing that over and over and over again. So that was kind of the difference. I don't know if that answered your question for some
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right, then. You've done 2 movies for Netflix. Have you got any plans to do for any of the others? So have you got any plans for Amazon Prime, Disney Plus for New Kid on the Block, and HBO Max, which is the even newer Kid on the Block?
Yes, well, I don't have any projects at the moment that are for sure there, but I'm determined to overcome this. I would love to. So hopefully I have the opportunity to do that one day.
All right, you're actually a bit of a writer as well, because you've actually written a short song, called "Lost in My Own Thoughts."
I have, yes. I actually, aside from dancing and acting, I'm a singer-songwriter as well. So that's one of my songs I released last year. and I just released another single called Ocean Love. You can check it out. It's on all platforms, and I'm actually working on a little EP, which is it's like a 5-song album.
Ooh.
And so that will be dropped in March. That's my current project I've been working on since everything's kind of been put on hold. I've been able to keep up with my music.
Oh, I look forward to hearing it. If it comes over here, or if I can hear it on iTunes, or to be fair, I do actually have Amazon Prime on my phone right now. If I can find it on there, which I'm assuming I can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I shall have a look for it in a bit. Now, the one thing that is actually still true about everyone I have to do research for, because everyone has to. Because if you don't do research, then you might as well not bother showing up. You actually have done voiceover for a PlayStation VR game, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know this game existed. And it's actually called Groundhog Day Like Father Like Son. And I saw the premise and I thought, oh my God. So, as far as games go, had you actually wanted to be a part of it or a game franchise before you decided to take the role?
So actually, fun story with this project. I got this from my manager, I believe, at the time, and whenever he sent it over, the instructions for the audition I was going to, it did say voiceover and it said VR project. That's all I got.
Yeah.
And they said that they were going to be filming us in the audition room, and I saw voiceover, so I was kind of confused. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll be on camera. And this was actually not my best preparation for an audition, because there was just a lot that had happened the week before, and there was actually lots of auditions because it was during a busy time for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't put in as much research as I had liked to for this project. But we ended up, my mom was driving me because I was I think I was 16, whatever. But she was driving me, and we get there and we pull up to Sony Animation Studios. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, wait, what am I about to go into? And then we get in there and they have like all these cool, like Cloudy with the Chance Meatball characters, open season characters all over the wall. I was like, wow, I should have prepared a little bit more for this. I'm kind of nervous now. But then we got the process rolling and I felt comfortable. I was just very natural and real, and they liked that. And it was really cool. I got to become a character in a whole nother universe. So it was cool seeing that come to life.
All right. Are you actually a gamer?
So this project, they actually sent us a VR bundle with the game, so we were able to play. But my brother actually would play Xbox, and
no.
I know. I don't know why, but that's okay. That's my brother. That's not me. No, he would play Xbox. I would play Wii whenever I was younger, but I never got too much into games. And then as soon as this game was released, I got a PlayStation. And I mean, now I've kind of transitioned to a gamer girl because I have it in front of me, but just a little. Like, I'm still learning, poquito.
Have you got a PS5 yet?
I do have. No, I have not.
I have.
Oh, what?
I have. And? It's completely and totally different from a PS4. Controllers are bigger. It's just everything's bigger and better. I think the only thing that's not bigger and better is the price.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'll give you a bit of a tip. If you have any physical copies of any games you've got on the PS4 and you want them updating to PS5, you do need a disc edition, not a digital edition.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you will have to pay for the game again.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure if you ever need any more points, me and my co-host Nathaniel can give you a few hints, because I think he got one when they first came out. I had to wait a couple of weeks, but I did actually get mine.
Oh, how recent did you get yours?
I think it was about November last year.
Oh, okay, it's pretty new, but
he got his on like launch day.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool.
So good luck if you do actually want one and do end up getting one, because you will need all the luck out of a genie's lamp. Actually, you need about all the luck in the world. Everyone does just to get one.
Right, I know. I was about to say, the fact that he got one on the launch date. That's crazy.
Yep. One thing I was curious about, did you have to do motion capture for it?
So for this one, it was cool. We got to all I had to do was wear this like headset and it
Yeah.
came out like so, and I had a camera like right in front of my face, and we spent like the first 30 minutes or so of the session, and I just had to kind of make a bunch of like faces so it could pick up for the animation. And then I just kind of went through and I just did my lines line by line. I was just kind of reading them by myself in a big room with some guys sitting in it listening and observing. So I didn't have to do any like body movement stuff. It was just my face.
I don't suppose Bill Murray was there, was he? Because bearing in mind this is a game based on the movie that he starred in.
Right. No, I wish that would have been so cool, but we did the table read first, and that's kind of where I got to meet all the other characters in the game, and then we just had our individual sessions to record.
Right. Well, you've done the Groundhog franchise, so is there any franchises or games you'd like to do that you haven't done yet? If given the opportunity, obviously.
I don't have one specific one that I have in mind, but I'm open for trying new experiences.
I'd recommend the DC one because Rocksteady have got that absolutely nailed.
Oh, that would be insane. That would be so cool.
I could see you playing a very the next Poison Ivy actually.
Okay. Thank you.
To be fair, there's only been that many good-looking Poison Ivies. Uma Thurman was passable in Batman and Robin. She was probably one of the only highlights of that. I don't really think we've had a decent live-action Poison Ivy, to be honest. So we definitely need one. Are you up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for it. If I categorize as that, I'll take it.
So yeah, Rocksteady's got that done. They've actually got a Suicide Squad video game coming out this year. It does actually look good.
Is it VR?
It might be. I know there's an Iron Man VR that's out.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Iron Man. My brother actually just got that one for his
Actually.
PlayStation set, and I just will walk in and he loves it. I haven't got to play it yet, but he's bragging all about it all the time. He said it's really dope.
Kick him out of his bedroom and play it for a bit.
Do what?
Kick him out of his bedroom for an hour and have a go with it.
Yep, that was about it.
Just before we start with a quiz, have you got any social media where people who want to follow you can find you?
I do. I try to be on all of the platforms. The main one that I try to always keep up with and I'm most active on is actually Instagram. And you can just type in Sydney Cope, or it's Sydney period Cope, because my old account I lost my password to. And then from there you can find all my other social medias, or I have a website that has all my medias. It's just sydneycopeofficial.com. But check it out.
Hold on. I'll have to find it in a bit. I thought I'd find it, but I haven't on Twitter, that is. Which is a bit embarrassing for me because usually I have a look and I'm like, right, that's his first one. So I'll just add her and I'm like, is that her? I'm not quite sure if it is. It probably is.
On Instagram?
On Twitter, actually.
Okay, yeah. I'm not that active on Twitter, but I do have a Twitter.
Actually, hold on. Actor, dancer, model, singer from Texas.
That should be me. It sounds like it. Yes, that's me. If you see that profile picture on any of my accounts, that's my account.
Right. And followed. There you go, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so this is a new section I'm trying out. I'm not actually sure about the name for it. I've been going back and forth with names and I just don't really think. But I've come up with, for you, it's called New Year, New Things, where usually what I do about this time is, last year what I did was ask people's advice about getting in, how to stay in, what the goals were. I thought I'd do something a little bit different this year. So you've been in the prom. I'm assuming you've watched it. So yes. What did you really think of it? There will be no different because I have watched it as well.
Yes. Well, I thought that it was really well done. Because it was originally a Broadway musical, where that's where it originated from. And Ryan Murphy, I just love all of his work. And I actually really enjoyed watching it. I watched it like 3 times actually, just because I enjoyed the movie itself.
Yeah. All right, this might shock you, but I don't think there will be any musical movie done better than Mamma Mia 2.
Okay. Oh, the second one?
Yeah, second one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I love Mamma Mia. That was actually one of the first musicals I saw live in Dallas. So I love Mamma Mia. Good musical.
I'd made some plans last year to go down and watch a bit more in London's West End, but obviously COVID hit, so they've been put on the back burner.
Yeah.
But I think of it as being delayed with the inevitability that everything will go back to normal, and when it does, I'll be down there a lot to watch a lot of West End shows.
Yes, you got to make up for all the time missed.
Yeah, we all have to. All right, and what's your favourite dance movie?
My favorite dance movie?
Yep.
Step Up Revolution.
Oh, nice choice.
That one is one of my favorites. Whenever I first saw it in theaters, I saw it with 2 of my close friends that I grew up dancing with. And after, like, when the credits were going, we just couldn't sit still. At the bottom of the movie theater, there's like flat space right before the movie screen in the first row of chairs, and there was music playing in the credits, and the 3 of us just went down there and we were just dancing our hearts away because we couldn't just maintain it from watching the movie.
Now it's quite funny you mentioned Step Up, because I've actually got a funny story to tell. When that came out in cinemas about 10 years ago, that was actually mine and my fiance's first movie we watched together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She enjoyed herself. I actually had the back of my seat being kicked by the little PIA sat behind me. So all I got for about an hour, out of about an hour and a half, was the back of literally my head bit being kicked repeatedly. So trying to watch a movie while your head's constantly being kicked and going like that is not easy.
Oh gosh, he probably just couldn't keep his feet still from dancing.
The worst thing was, I was at the very front, so I literally had a creak in my neck.
Oh no.
So worth it though. It was a great movie. We had a good time.
Love that movie.
All right then. Now begins the tough decisions round for you, my dear. So you're in the prom, as we've discussed many times. So I'm going to give the 3 stars out of that movie. So out of the 3 of them, you can only star with 1 of them in any other future projects you do. The other 2 are cast away that you can never see again.
What? Why? That's so hard.
Not really.
You're talking about.
There's one person that's on this list you have actually been raving about, and you cannot praise enough. So
I know.
Yes, yeah. So Nicole Kidman, James Corden, Meryl Streep. Who do you save? In fairness, you have kind of put yourself in a difficult position.
I know. I realize that.
Do we make it a bit easier on you?
Yeah.
Meryl Streep for me.
Meryl Streep for you. Yeah, Meryl Streep for me. I mean, I've been hyping up. I'd be kind of awkward if I didn't say her name, but
be honoured for both
yes.
of us. All right then. You obviously you're a writer, singer, dancer, actor. So from both those 4, what franchise would you like to do? So say for singing, you could do say a remake of a Bodyguard. For dancing, you could do a Step Up movie. Acting wise, if you fancied say something more challenging, you could go for say a DCEU movie, for instance.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So what you got? So you've got singing. What did we say? We said singing, acting. We'll go with singing, acting, dancing.
Okay. For singing, I think it would be. You said a franchise, correct? Sorry.
It's a franchise, yeah.
That would be really cool to have my music featured. I mean, a big motion picture would be ideal. That would be cool for one of my songs to be in like a Marvel movie. That'd be cool. I don't know if it would fit that, but they've already got a big fan base, and their visuals are already just so so insane. I feel like that'd be cool to see some.
There's always somebody who wants to work with somebody when they hear a very good song they like.
Exactly.
So you have chances, my darling. So, the acting and the dancing.
Yes. So for acting, wow. Oh, actually, this one, I have lots of different things on my bucket list as far as the acting world, but I think I love the American Horror Story series because, yeah, I love that because I just kind of really, what brought me in was the concept of each season is a different story, but Ryan Murphy implements the same actors throughout each series. So that would be really cool to get a part of because you can dive into a character and know what the production is going to be like and be comfortable around the people, and then dive into a whole nother one next year. So dance. Do what? Sorry.
I think you got the dancing one left.
Yes, and dance step up. That would be amazing.
I'm going to say there could not be any other one.
Right. Yep.
At least I found out something about you. You hype something up to the point where if you're asked about that and something else, you have to go with that. So you kind of drop yourself in it. But it's not bad.
Yeah. I'm also pretty indecisive, but
I try sometimes.
Yeah, I try to. Okay.
All right, then. All right, we're going to make you a dream movie. So I just need your 4 leads. Money is no object, so you can have as expensive an actress or actor as you want, and you can choose a director as well.
Oh, okay.
I can give you my recommendations, who I would have.
Yes, I would love to hear this.
All right. First one, the director, well, there would be no choice. Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
There would be anyone else in that matter. There just wouldn't be. As far as actresses go, I actually have a Funko Pop of Scarlett Johansson right here. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh my gosh, yes, I can see it.
She's one of mine.
Oh yeah, so talented.
I don't know if anyone can see it or not, but I have 2 Deadpools here.
Oh my gosh, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, so Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds, all been well, because they were married. Not anymore. I actually have a Killing Joke Batman down here, so I would have to say Mark Hamill.
Oh, okay.
I do love Mark Hamill. So that just leaves one more now. I do actually have a Beastman Funko Pop up here, and there is one man. If I were to do a He-Man movie, there's only one man that I think would be fit enough for that role, and he's my last pick, and it is Dave Bautista.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I love that you have a little viewing you can choose.
It's actually mine and my ladies. We've kind of. I've got her more than she's got me. But it's kind of a thing we've started doing. One of our co-hosts has his own little collection, so I think we're sort of rivaling his, but not doing too well at the minute. So, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It takes time. That's okay.
So you've had my advice. So who do you have?
Okay. I actually have a list.
Oh, God. You've research, haven't you? I am impressed.
Okay, as far as director, it's not on my bucket list to work with Tarantino. His projects are. Oh wait, you're frozen. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I'm still here, yeah.
Okay, sorry, you froze for a second. I wanted to make sure we were still there. And you said 4 actors, right?
4 actors, can be 4 actors, actresses, whoever you think.
Okay. Sarah Paulson. Love her.
Yes.
Love her. Love her. Leonardo DiCaprio. Love him. And then I have a list of so many, so let me just pick and choose. Let me. Ooh, Will Ferrell.
Right, that's not a bad choice, but for me, he is not the best actor comedian that there is. But,
Okay. Okay.
but, right,
He's one
go
of my. I just love him because I started watching him whenever I was a kid, and so he's just kind of always somebody that I've looked up to and watched on a screen, and
Yeah.
I'm very interested to work with him and just see the real him and then see how he brings his characters to life. And
I think you've got one left.
I know this is hard to choose. I wrote all my favorite people down. Probably Steve Carell. I love him.
I could get behind that choice.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be an interesting film, but
It would be actually. Yeah. So unfortunately, our time is nearly at an end. I know.
No.
I've really enjoyed myself. So, with that being said, there's only one last bit left, and it's actually going to be quite hard for you because it's a question that requires you not to name it Meryl Streep at all.
Oh gosh.
I know. I'm sorry to make it hard, but someone's got to.
No. It's okay.
So, obviously, you started with Nicole Kidman, James Corden, and Meryl Streep in the Prom.
Oh wait, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh my gosh.
Right, sorry about that. So name me 10 or 20 actors or actresses that you haven't starred with in movies yet that you would like to star with before you retire.
Okay. This is actually part of the list that I started. So. Okay, Sarah Paulson.
Yep.
Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler.
Oh no.
No, you don't like Adam? Okay. I like him.
That's fair enough.
Okay. Same thing. I watched him as a young.
Everyone's got their favourites, but he's just not one of mine. It's just how it is, I'm afraid. But
that's okay. Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Reese Witherspoon.
Ooh, great.
Is that good? Ooh, or a bad one?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, good. I was like, what?
Great with what she does.
I love her. Ryan Reynolds.
Of course.
Steve Carell.
Yep.
Elizabeth Moss. Super talented. Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
Jennifer Aniston.
Wow, you
Johnny
have
Depp.
I am actually impressed. I'm really impressed.
Oh yeah? Okay. Johnny Depp, Mila Kunis, Julia Roberts, Maya Rudolph, Emma Stone, Drew Barrymore, and Joey King.
Oh. Oh my god. That is probably the quickest and I'll say more attuned to who I actually would do anything with before I retired, but I love that last choice.
Joey King?
Joey King.
She is so talented, and for her to start her acting career at such a young age and just see her growth over the years is really cool.
I didn't realize this, but I knew she back then she was a young Talia al Ghul in Chris Nolan's last Batman movie. But when I saw Kissing Booth, I'm like, who's that? And then it was like Joey King. I'm like, Joey King? Where have I seen her before? Look on Wikipedia or IMDb, and she was young Talia al Ghul. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell's happened to her?
She's grown. Have you seen The Act on Hulu?
I haven't yet. It's on Amazon, but I think over here they charge a bit, so not extortionate prices, but you have to pay so much extra a month. But when I've got a bit of time to start recommending Amazon and Netflix TV shows, I will be watching it.
Yes, definitely should. That's where I fell in love with her even more, the way she portrayed the character Gypsy. So
I actually thought you would stay loyal to Netflix and say Kissing Booth.
I love Kissing Booth too. That's such a cute movie. I actually auditioned for the second one, I believe, for like a dance thing, but I think they went a little bit older. I was a little younger at the time, which is okay. But I love that franchise.
Who doesn't love that franchise? And on this bombshell, the very first one I've ever had, ladies and gentlemen, on a lady who I actually feel like has done more research for this quiz than I would have done. Sydney Cope.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.